Welcome back to another episode of Champion Standard. Brad is back after his 2-week holiday, and he's been waiting and itching to come on the episode and pour all his thoughts out.
That's my standard. That's my standard. My champion standard. Champion standard. Pull up with the answers. Yeah, the answers. The champion standard. Champion standard. Yeah.
That's right. I'm back, but I don't know if I'd call it a vacation. Moving is never a vacation. I guess you could say it is, since you are traveling somewhere, right? Yeah. No, I've been deprived, man, the last couple of weeks. Just moving, packing, unpacking, whatever, and just haven't been able to, follow my sports like normal. So I kind of want to catch up a little bit. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, follow us, TikTok, X, YouTube. Just download, follow us, subscribe. Would really appreciate it. A lot going on. I know we're playing a little catch up today. We haven't talked spring sports or anything in a while, so I know we kind of want to put a bow on the basketball seasons now that those have kind of all wrapped up. And then just touch base a little bit on both the baseball and softball teams, just kind of see how their first season's going in the SEC. Both teams doing pretty good considering, going to the best conferences again. And then talk a little football. There's spring practice going on. There's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of noise. There's, what do you take from spring ball? Anytime we've talked about this before, one team has success. Well, what's that mean? Is the other team not playing good? Just that kind of stuff. So, where do we want to start? You want to start with the basketball teams since their seasons kind of came to a close?
Yeah. It was just a terrible draw, man. I mean, to get the back-to-back UConn champs, I mean, there's only I thought they put up a good fight there, but they just got overwhelmed, and they there's only so much fears can do, and it was our offensive rebounding had been plaguing us all season because of our size, but the new coming out of it, we got a new assistant GM. Yeah,
Trae Young. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Trae Young, and that's fantastic. And he's gonna ramp up NIL. Porter Moser right after the game was like, "Hey," he was not coy about it. NIL takes away the great players in February, March, and April, so we have to do something about it. And as soon as that game was over, they get Norman. What is it? It's hometown hero Trae Young to the rescue. So
right. No, I love it.
I mean, yeah, I do too.
Even if it's just a complimentary role or something, I'm perfectly fine with just having the former players and everybody involved in the program just to be kind of that extra face for the program. I know the players and recruits love it. I know during that UConn game, the first few minutes of game, you're texting me and you're like, man, UConn just looks so more comfortable, like they're comfortable in this setting. And of course they are, because they've just been there the last 2 years at the highest level, not just making the tournament, but winning the title. And we actually came out, I think we were up 8-0. It felt pretty good. We looked pretty comfortable, and then both teams started settling in. And I think you hit it on the head. There's only so much fears can do. And I love watching the star just kind of try to take over, because I remember, and it's been a couple, I don't think it's been a couple of decades, but Carmelo Anthony had one of those runs in the tournament several years back, and it was just the Carmelo Anthony show. And I just like all the stars to, all come out during the tournament like they did. But yeah, at least we got him for a year. Got to enjoy him. It's hard to get a lottery pick on your team, especially when
Right.
we're kind of a we're not a blue blood in basketball. So anytime you can get your hands on one of those, on our basketball
Mm-hmm.
team, you take it. But 20-win season, made it to the tournament, first time in 4 years. So it's progress. I know there's plenty out there that are, wanting Moser gone.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in that boat off and on the last several years. Just haven't not making it to the tournament. The portal is just a complete turnover. It feels like every year there's just players leaving, and he's having to completely just the roster gets gutted, and he's just having to almost start from scratch every year, and that's just a
Yeah.
bad road to be in year after year. So so I guess making it to the tournament's one step better than last year, but uh, we'll see. I know they got a pretty decent freshman class coming in and things like that. So it sounds like he's planning on staying around. I know his name was being thrown around with the Villanova job and things
Right.
like that. But right now it sounds like he'll stay put, and it doesn't sound like Josie is going to make a move either. So
It's actually kind of surprising after our buddy that goes to all the games and works the games and everything, and how many times he saw Joe C cussing up a storm during the basketball season and losing his mind at his table over there, and couldn't stop losing his temper watching the OU basketball, because Josie knows that uh this basketball team should be better. I mean, I don't know why people complain about the resources. Yeah, you can always use more resources, more money, but uh, I felt, what you just mentioned, we had a lottery pick. I felt like, we probably lost some games there that we should not have lost, that it pushed us even further. But yeah, I guess Porter's coming back, and we're gonna keep rolling, and we're gonna keep improving off the court with bringing in Trae Young and bringing in some more dollars and cents. And Trae Young's gonna end up being a great face to pull in more money, more resources from other areas.
mhm.
Hey, Trae Young's involved. That's a great branding. I mean, Trae Young's a walking brand, not beyond OU. I mean, the dude's a
Right.
superstar of the planet. He's gonna be able to help bring in some new faces and everything. So we'll see what happens next year. And like you said, we got a great freshman class. I'm hoping that we can get a little bit more firepower. I hope we get some size. I want to see some. I want to see a we need to have a center that can actually control the paint, instead of like it was just so automatic. It was
Yeah.
unreal. So a defending center there. It was too easy. And you need to keep making the tournament, because if we want to really make a serious run, we need to keep having these guys. We got to keep the guys, and we have to keep going to, even if it's a 15, 14, 13, 12 seed, you got to get that tournament experience, because that tournament experience matters so much. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally agree. I think they do have some size coming in. I was trying to see if I could
yeah, I think they
find
do.
some of my
It's been a while
notes,
since I've
but
seen it.
yeah, I can't find the notes. But I think they had like a 7-footer coming in.
Yeah, there you
Here we
go.
go.
Yeah.
Here we go. 25 class. There's 6'10" Kai Rogers, 7-foot guy named Andreas Hoist. So there you go. There's your size.
Yep. Yep.
Hopefully they're not projects. Hopefully they can come in and play right away. But yeah, that's to me, of all the programs down at OU, that's the one that's just kind of been teetering on needing a new coach or needing a change here the last couple of years. It's just been kind of mediocre by OU standards as far as that goes. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can keep getting them. And I like Moser as just a guy, but I mean it all comes down to success and wins and losses. So we'll see how they can do. I think Trae Young, you mentioned, you know base of the program, things like that. They got the Young athletic facility down there in Norman as well. So I know he's just been a big donor and contributor to OU for some time. So this is probably one of those things that's kind of been in the making for a while. And I'd like to see other former players get involved. You know, Blake Griffin's not playing anymore. You know, getting him involved. All the hometown products.
Yeah, I'm sure he's involved. He might not be getting the publicity right now, but he's been involved. But you're right. We need to keep pulling them all in.
Yeah. Switching over to OU women, I think Jenny Baranchek, she's done a great job since she's got here. I don't know if this was her third or fourth year. I think it's her third year. I don't think her and Porter came in the same season, but they had a successful season in the SEC top 20 program. They got beat by the same team ultimately in the tournament. They had a matchup against UConn, who, you know, year in and year out, it's just one of the powers of college basketball. And you never want to match up against Gino in a tournament. He's just, you know, been around for years. And what's Beckers? I forget the girl's name, but she had 40 points against us the other day.
I saw that. Just buckets, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. Didn't have an answer for her in the second half. Just felt like she was kind of playing on a different level than the rest of the team. But I think OU got the number one basketball recruit the other day. So that can't hurt, right?
No. It's funny. I was watching a TikTok, and it was of a Lubbock preschool, and they had the recruitment, or maybe it was a kindergarten. It was young kids, and the teacher and all of them were watching the recruitment on the TV, and all the kids started like throwing a fit and crying when she announced that she was going to OU.
Yeah, well,
it was pretty funny.
I wish I could find her actual announcement, and just
it was
quiet.
Like on
it was crickets,
television.
Dude. Yeah, it was
on Lubbock's TV, like local television.
No,
like they were, all the kids were like,
it was so odd.
There was one that like turned to the teacher and was like, "What does this mean?"
It was
really
crazy.
Funny.
No, I'm with you. It was the oddest announcement that I had seen in a long time. I was hoping I could find it, but I can't. But no,
it's really good to get Chavez and
Yep.
Is it Chavez, or how do you pronounce her
let's
name?
go with Chavez, because we already have a Chavis.
Okay.
So let's just say Chavez.
I was like,
yeah. Just apparently we got her, and we were competing with the LSUs and South Carolinas and all the who's who of women's basketball. So just a big win for Jenny. And I don't know what kind of NIL that took, but I don't really care at this point.
I never want to hear OU and not have enough resources. I just don't. I think that is lazy analysis to say that we do not have enough dollars. Forget about it. Like, we've got enough dollars. Okay, that's not the issue. It'll never be the issue for OU softball, OU basketball, women's basketball, baseball. We've got the dollars. We've got this alumni base is massive. There's a lot of successful people. There's a lot of successful people that are willing to part ways with their dollars in order to help program and help the school. And this is OU women's basketball is just making the turn after a couple years. I mean, it was down there with Cole. Cole obviously had the long run, but it was down there for a couple years, and now it's ramped back up. You don't get the number one recruit in a class without having some sort of significant resource or a plan. You're pitching plans, a brand plan. Hey, you come here, you're going to play here. These are the brand. We can create you a brand. I mean, it takes a lot of coordination, and OU definitely has the resources to do it. I'm football, baseball, basketball, any of it. We're good.
Yep. I like seeing it being spilled into other sports, because most of the time we just hear it being spilled into football, but it's nice to hear women's basketball is getting a piece of that pie, so to speak.
Yep.
So, yep, I think Jenny's got him pointed in the right direction. So, hoping we can keep Jenny around, just with this early success she's having. Some of those bigger schools, I'm sure, will be calling if they haven't already. But excuse me. Yeah, I think they definitely on the right pace. Softball or baseball? What do you want to talk about?
I've been paying attention more to the softball. You know me.
Yeah,
I like,
well,
this is champions. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of gravitate towards. I mean, not that the baseball team's not good. I'm just saying, like, I like softball. I like the faster paced game. So like, I've been gravitating more to the softball.
Yeah, they are. I think I think they're 34-3 after their win last night against UCF, but they lost their first SEC series of the season against Tennessee last weekend. Just kind of a hard
Right.
fought series against the top 10 SEC team. So
Yeah.
you definitely want this younger team to have some adversity, and I think a series like that, I think you can, gain a lot from.
Yeah.
Just going through and it feeling easy is not a good thing for a young team. They got to experience some adversity along the way, and so yeah, they lost a home series to Tennessee, but it was weird. It's weird this weekend too because they have an out of conference weekend in the middle of the season. We played like St. Thomas and UCF, and then the other game was canceled. So kind of a break, mid-season break from the SEC opponents. I want to say we have OSU in a non-conference coming up here before long too, but
Yeah.
I think it feels like to me they're like Sam Landry's been probably their most consistent pitcher. They're just kind of looking for that number 2 and 3 to really solidify their pitching staff. But their hitting's been decent. It just kind of
tapered off there on Tennessee.
It did.
But our pitching went up. Like Deal had a great series, I thought. Wasn't it Deal? Am I saying that right?
I think it was her that had one of the better games of the series, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, they're for a rebuild year. I think they're, halfway through the year, we can definitely sit here and say that, they're doing just about as good as we anticipated.
No, I felt like our hitting kind of went down. Ella Parker's kind of on a little bit of a slump, but
yeah.
I mean, like I that game, I felt like our pitching was a lot better. I felt like our hitting kind of went down, and then Tennessee that first game they had got super lucky, and then they came back, won that third one, and you saw the celebration. They were like, made it look like they won the World Series. Like they were just like, "Oh, we won the championship." But that's how important it is to beat OU. We're queens of the mountain. We're queens of the mountain.
That's
and right. They took down the queens of the mountain, the champions, and they celebrated hardcore. I was like, "Dang, man, like slow your roll." But then I kind of get it. We won 4 in a row, so
yeah. No, I'm sure if the roles were reversed, we may be doing the same thing. So I get it. Yeah. But Patty will have them in championship form here in the next month or so once we start getting toward the end of the SEC season. But if the second, third, fourth pitchers can come around, I think the hitting will come around just fine. And Ella Parker is one of the best, if she's one of the best hitters in the country. So this little mini slump she's in is just a short slump for her, and she'll come out of it. I think she's still batting close to 400, even though she's in a slump, which is kind of crazy how different softball is from baseball. You can be in a slump and still have a 400 average. Yeah, the baseball team, they lost 2 out of 3 to Alabama last weekend, and then they have this home series with LSU this weekend. OU comes in 10th and LSU was 7th. And man, LSU, they had a pitcher. I was watching it Thursday night, probably only the second baseball game I've watched all year. He went a complete game, threw like 120 pitches, had 14 or 15 strikeouts. The guy was just
Golly.
practically unhittable. We only lost 2-0. It was one of those, tight pitch and duel type games. But yeah, LSU's just got a lot of talent. Not that OU doesn't, but they just LSU's just been a storied program in baseball for quite a while. I think I saw top 25 SEC has 10 or 11 schools in baseball.
I mean, they had how many? How many did they have in the basketball tournament? They had 7, 8, 9.
Oh no,
How
no.
many?
They put in 14, Rob.
14.
Yeah.
Holy crap! They
Yeah.
had 14.
They had 14 in the tournament to start.
That's that's like all of the teams
I'm pretty sure they had 14. You can
in the basketball tournament.
Yes, you can fact check me on that.
And then how many in the baseball tournament? How many in the top?
Well, yeah, so 10 of the top 25 in baseball rankings right now are SEC.
Golly.
And I don't.
Hey, we wanted to go to this, man. This is
I know.
definitely. I mean,
I
it's
know.
definitely
This is what we asked for.
It's the sports. It's the sports capital of college, especially men's side, but I mean women's side too. But golly, man.
Yeah.
That's
It's
wild.
brutal. Yeah, I thought okay. I have it pulled up. You ready? Here's I'm going to give you the ranking number of the SEC teams in order, okay? Tennessee's 1, Arkansas's 2,
Of course.
Georgia's 3,
Wow.
Texas 5, LSU 7, Alabama 8, Ole Miss 9, Oklahoma 10. That's just the top 10, dude.
Wait, how many are in the top 10?
I know. I named off 8. 8 in the top 10, Rob.
Wow. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole. That is.
And then you got Auburn and Vanderbilt down in like 23rd and like 16th. But
Vanderbilt's another one that has a history.
Yes.
Vanderbilt has a history of playing really good baseball.
Ridiculous, man.
Dang.
Just loaded. Yeah.
Well.
Crazy.
Fun. I need to watch some more baseball, man. That sounds like fun. Golly.
Yeah. No, it's SEC is about as it's definitely is. It's just like football, just deep as can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy rankings. Hopefully they can. I'd like to see OU at least, make a run at trying to get to Omaha again. But
yeah,
heck, just getting through this conference schedule this year is just going to, just challenging in itself. But so yeah, football are that's usually our bread and butter on this show. Spring practice is about, I don't know, what, halfway, a little past halfway, maybe.
It was a little bit halfway, more than halfway now.
There's a lot of buzz and news coming out just within the last couple of days, since it's one of the most recent things. Tight end Devon Mitchell's planning on entering the portal here in a couple of weeks.
That's so funny because we talked about him the last time you were on. You and I talked about, we looked at his size. We're like, oh yeah, he's 260. We were looking at the online, like, team website weight, not Charlie's updated weight, where he was 280 pounds. And now he's gone. It's like he ate himself out of OU. It's like, dude, you got to stop. Like, you got to actually work. You can't just keep eating or whatever he was doing. Because I mean, the only way you gain weight is if you eat. So, or you not work out. So,
right.
I mean, if you're sitting there gaining weight, I mean, there's only one way to gain weight. We all know what that is. So they must have been like, all right, you got to go. It's like he just Jamarcus Russelled himself out of the league.
Yeah. No, those guys, I think they put those guys on a high calorie diet a lot of times, especially when it's like off season workouts, because they have to, because they're burning so much. But I think you get one too many buffets outside of the campus regimen.
Well, I mean,
there.
you're in the weight room. You could take sets off. You kind of have
Mhm.
to hold yourself accountable. Like
Yeah.
if you're in the weight room, there's only like there's one or maybe three coaches in there. If you're not, putting your work in, they know how many calories you're eating. Like it's not. I mean, it's just they just be like, why are you? What? This isn't the progress that we expected. And um, anyway, I know you in a weight room.
Yeah.
You have to work yourself. I mean, there's only you can't have that much oversight on 100 plus kids that are on this roster.
Right. Right. You got to. Yep.
They
You
have
got to
to
have
they
that
have to want to work.
self accountability. Yep. For
They
sure.
have to want to work, man.
So a position that was already a giant question mark by us and a lot of other people just became a little bigger of a question mark exclamation point now, just because
Yeah.
we're gonna have to find it. We're gonna have to find another guy in the portal
Do
after.
do you blame JJF for Devon? Do you feel like that's just another like just put that underneath him as far as or whatever, or as the horse been beaten, buried, and just it's just like there's no point getting the shovel and just getting that corpse out and just beating it again. Just
No,
leave it
no,
there. It's at
I'm good.
rest.
I'm good. I'm good putting this on JJF. I'm good with
You
that
put it
because
on JJF.
yeah, let's do that too.
Yeah, why not?
Just pile on.
Yeah, pile on.
I don't think we'll be getting him on the show anytime soon. That's just a guess, but um,
Probably not.
probably
He's a
not.
good guy. Like I'd have a
He
beer
is.
with
He
him.
is.
I I
Yeah.
I, I feel he's a good dude. Like he is. It's just looking at the tight end room. It bums me out, man. It just bums me out every time we talk about it. I feel my heart just crying a little bit.
Yeah. So some of the other, uh, I guess you could say, news and notes coming out of spring camp. It sounds like Mateer's. Mateer's sounds like the real deal, and I realize it's just spring ball, but he's establishing a lot with the new receivers that have came in and some of the guys that are already on campus. So that doesn't hurt. Whether it's real or not, it doesn't hurt that they're establishing themselves a little bit, and if nothing else, just getting familiar with the playbook and being able to run the offense with some sort of consistency here. By the end of the spring is all you really want, right?
Right. I mean, and that's why Mateer is so. I mean, he's just having fun. I mean, it's springtime. You're a quarterback. You're not getting hit. Like you just get to go out there and throw the ball, and like you said, he knows this offense front and back. I mean, he's got his coach that he had, his mentor last year. So he comes into OU. Just look at the kid. The kid can't not stop smiling. Like he's
Oh yeah,
always smiling. He is so damn happy all the time. It's
yeah.
awesome. And he gets in spring ball and he's just I mean from the reports, I mean just that, Giovanni Gibson's having fun and Sategna's having fun and I mean he's just balling out. Of course he should. I don't think he has anything to stress about right now. I think the most that he has to do right now is just teach the guys this is what I want to do. You see a zone turn off man, do your speed out. I'm going to put the ball right here. You get the man, I'm going to tag it. I'm going to throw it. You know what I mean? Like it's like the
Hmm.
little things, but I mean, that's why this is such a great setup because grabbing the OC and the quarterback that work together is going to be so different than trying to take a mastermind quarterback mastermind OC and this
Hmm.
super talented quarterback that never played together and try to marriage a language to each other. No, they already know. They already know what
Right.
to expect. They're already there. It's all clicking. So spring, we're hearing all the buzz. He's the it factor. All these different things. Yeah, because they're having fun, man. I mean, I can't imagine how much fun they're having. You see some of the clips on X
Hmm.
and Ben Arbuckle's doing the nose swipe on dodge ball. He got someone on dodge ball. He does a nose swipe and he's just like, yeah. I mean, like they're having fun, and that's how it
Yeah.
should be right now. It should
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
Just keep learning, keep grinding, and then turn it up for fall camp is when we get super serious.
Right, right. Nope, I agree. Yep. Having fun too exudes confidence a lot of times when you look comfortable and you want, especially, you want to see the quarterback confident as teammates. You just want to see a guy that's in command back there and knows what he's doing. So
Hmm.
I think I read a comment the other day. I don't know if it's Charlie or James that just said, he's just an extension of the coach on the field because he knows the playbook.
Yeah.
He's just another coach out there. Which what more do you want from that position than that? Field general coach, whatever you want to label it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that smile will stay on his face and probably until that Michigan game, Rob. And that's probably when we'll see game face Mateer maybe come out a little bit, little more,
Yeah,
okay, it's getting
get
real
to
kind of
work.
thing. Yep.
Yeah.
But no, if he's got a little Baker with him, and we don't want to sit here and, of course, compare him to Baker on every little thing, but if he's got a little bit of that, uh, personality in him, great. I mean, who
I
didn't love
we'll
who
we'll
didn't love
see.
Baker and his you
Right.
know personality when he was here? So
I don't think we've actually seen. I don't think anybody. I don't think Mateer even knows. I really don't. I don't think we really. I don't think he even knows how far he can push himself. He's about to go into the league. This is the football league of college football, and he doesn't even know how hard he's going to push himself to be that chip on the shoulder, laser focus. It's all fun, like right, which how it's supposed to be.
hmm hmm
Come kick. Arbuckle and Mateer, I think are gonna both push each other to a whole nother level, and we'll see. And they'll have to. They can't. They're not going to be able to coast on what they did in their little non-con schedule like they did last year. And I feel like there's going to be a whole nother gear that we'll see out of Mateer and Arbuckle, and we should all be excited to see that. We've got golly too many more months until that we get to see it. But I
yeah,
just don't
yeah,
think I just don't think you can't. There's no film of it. There's no analysis by someone. Nothing. We're gonna have to all as fans and players and coaches and admin. We're gonna experience it on the field when that season kicks. That next level of
yep,
what
yep,
they can do.
yeah. Totally agree. Um, no, yeah. Staying on the offensive side of the ball, it sounds like you know Bedenbaugh's doing his normal spring thing and just playing the rotating chairs with all the offensive linemen. Let's see where you can
Yeah.
play. Um,
Yeah.
all Fasusi and Fodje coming in. Man, those guys may have some of the highest ceilings for O linemen that have came in here in quite some time. But those guys have came in. I hear Fodje looks the part. Just a massive
Yeah.
load. I think we recruited him as a tackle, but it sounds like OU may try to use him as a guard. He may have more of a guard type frame.
I
I
think
don't know.
I think I think that's more because of our need at guard. I think
Mm,
I think eventually he will be a tackle. I think just
yeah,
right
yeah,
now
agreed.
because of
Yep.
Jake Taylor's playing so well, and you've got the
hmm
two transfers are also tackles that they're like, hey, if I just kick him inside, it gives even more competition for Ozida and Weewoo and EPL.
Yep.
That's because they have so much damn depth there, man.
They
There's so
do.
much depth there.
There's
And
a lot of
Fauci,
depth.
Fauci and Fasusi, just looking at some of the spring clips that
hmm
James posted, like the mountainous of clips that the guy got, and
Uh-huh.
he got a lot on the O line because he knows how to please people because he got some of like one or two or three of each clip of each position group, but O line he got a lot, but you see him, dude. Those Fasusi and Fauci are
hmm
way bigger than I thought they were.
Oh yeah.
Those are some big boys. I mean, they're I you I yeah, I'm sure we'll get into fall camp and we're gonna hear how the two of them are physically
Right.
there. Like
Yep.
physically, they're gonna end up doing really good.
Yeah.
Like physically, they're holding their own.
Right.
Once we gotta get that August air and heat and everything and going 100%. You know, all these
Yep.
clips in spring are like, you can tell they're like 50%. So like we'll get when it cut loose, but those two are gonna be, dang man, they're gonna be good. I just hope they stay with
I think they'll be. No, I'm with you. I think they'll be in the two deep.
Oh yeah.
You know, when the season rolls around, and as if last season was any indicator on if you need how much depth you need on the offensive line, I mean, they're going to see the field a lot. Um, the starting five aren't going to cut it. You're going to need that
Oh, they're
depth,
definitely
especially.
playing their four. They're definitely
Yep.
playing their 4 games. But yeah, you're right. They're gonna end up being a part of the rotation. I just don't think you can keep one of them's gonna crack and be a significant piece the whole year.
Yeah, I think Caden Green had a pretty decent end of season a couple of years ago. I think one or both of these guys may end up being ahead of his schedule come October or so, just to see where kind of they're at right now. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they were ahead of his pace, which would be fantastic. But you're right. I feel like we got, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 in the offensive line room right now. Is that fair? Once
Yeah.
Howland and Ozida and all those guys are back, right? I'm not talking about like guys that are playing right now, but just once we get fully healthy, and hopefully that injury bug won't get us like it did last year. Knock on wood.
Right.
Offense, nothing else really to chat about. We've kind of mentioned the running backs, kind of been the Salchak X-Rob room
I'm rooting
during
for
the
X
spring
Rob.
here. Yep,
I love that Missouri game.
I know.
I love that Missouri game so much. I really root for X Rob to really be an awesome piece for Arbuckle. So
Yeah, moving over to the other side, hasn't been a lot of surprise names necessarily off the defensive side. You're just hearing some guys' names a little more than others, like David Stone. His name has
Obvi.
been, yeah. I think he's just had, last year Jaden Jackson was getting a lot of the noise in the spring because Stone might have been a little behind schedule. Well, this year, you're hearing like David Stone's taking that next step. There's always that big leap from year 1 to year 2, and I think he's taking his. Kobe filling in for Danny Stutzman, is doing a really good job. And here of late, Sammy Amasigo's really been coming on that. Yeah, which I love. If we can get some depth at that position, I think that'll be huge because we both know Danny was taking the lion's share last year, and you don't want to come into this year just putting all that on one guy. If we can have 2 guys on that position that are, pretty close, that would be ideal at that. I guess is that middle linebacker?
Kobe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kobe's a middle backer.
Yeah. And we're going to get what we get from Kip. I hear he's, even stronger than he was last year. So I think he gets overlooked sometimes because that middle linebacker gets a lot of the love. But I think Kip may be, what he had. Did he have two pick sixes this year? Auburn and Bama. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So guy's just a field flipper is what he is,
He's a scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 interceptions for touchdowns, over 112 yards, mostly from that Auburn game. But yeah, he had that where he in the Auburn game, he did that like 2-step fake blitz, drop out, and Auburn tried to run a slant right behind him, and quarterback, what was his name, Peyton for Auburn?
Yep.
Didn't see him, throw it right to him. In the Alabama game, Kip did a really good job. It was just he just floated out to the outside, and Jalen Milroe just went through his little ways of not seeing things, just like a Peyton just chucked it right to him. I mean, you can't throw it right. I mean, Kip is not. I mean, he's got the athleticism. He's got great hands.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't just throw a ball anywhere in the vicinity. Like he's gonna end up catching it. So,
yeah, yeah.
and then he just makes the most of it. He turns into a running back and just goes
Exactly,
and scores.
exactly. Yep, he knows what to do when he gets it in his hands. I think the interior lines probably for me it's one of the most solid pieces on the defense. So I think we can expect them to come out and definitely just play their part and do whatever. Defensive end, I think you and I and everyone else is just looking for someone other than RMT to really solidify that other side. And you hear little flashes and names. You'll hear Marvin Jones or Danny Okoye and the rest of them, but that's one of those positions where RMT had that one side lockdown. You were always and Ethan Downs did great on the other end, but we really could use just another dominant end. We saw it last year playing South Carolinas and teams like that, just having bookends like you
Yeah,
do that can just
yeah.
go out and just
South Carolina.
just
Yep,
take a game over. I
yep.
mean, it's
They can.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So like, you've got that interior D line with you mentioned Stone and Jaden Jackson and uh oh my God, I'm blanking. Jaden Jackson, David Stone, and
Grayson
Dominic
Holton.
Williams. Dominic Williams,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, and Grayson Holton.
And Grayson Holton. So you have those three.
Hmm.
That is an amazing little 3-man rotation that are just like run stopping monsters. I mean, one of
Hmm.
my favorite plays all year. Should I bring it up? Actually, I think I might have it. Ah, I think I closed it. Jane Jackson in the Alabama game where he just like took a guard and just threw him out the club.
Hmm.
Like just chucked him. Just like took him and just threw him away and then made a play. Um
And that was with a
that's
bad
like,
shoulder.
yeah, that was with, yeah, exactly. And then you've got a great interior D line rotation. You look at defensive end. You mentioned like, you got RMT who took the Tulane game over, and then he had some great plays and like the LSU and the Texas game too.
Hmm.
When you look at the opposite side, that's where you look at like some of these notes from TFB and Charlie and their sources. I mean, back like a week ago, Danny Okoye. I think I have all the edges that I'm just wanting to hear about is Danny Okoye and how he's going to earn more and more reps. Being that like Oklahoma kid, small town football, small town. I mean, it's like 8-man ball, right? As he gets, because he's got all the athletic tools, height, weight, speed, athletic profile, check, 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 check. More practice time, getting up the game speed, going up against big old tackles like
Hmm.
Howland and guards like Sexton and all of them. That's the kid I'm wanting to hear more and more about. They throw in those little tidbits and notes and stuff of Danny Okoye. I We need a pass rusher opposite of RMT.
Hmm.
You need to have a great pass rush. I feel like our run defense is going to be solid, like more than solid, because of that rotation in the interior line. I think Kobe and Kip being coached up by the best linebacker coach in America and BV. Losing Danny, yes, is not a good thing, but it's college ball. They all move on. You're not going to be able to replace his production. Danny's production 1 for 1, but you can still keep improving your team in other areas. And the defensive end, the edge room has been one of the rooms have been subpar for a really long time. Last year we had a jump in our edge pressures
Hmm.
just because RMT was healthy and he took over games and was a monster. Now is the time. RMT can take over a game, you know, with Tulane. He needs a sidekick. You've got Marvin Jones Jr. which I'm not a
Mhm.
really big fan of. I mean, watching the film, he looked like he took a lot of plays off. It was Florida State. It was a abysmal season. His motivation probably wasn't there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's his third team. He's in his contract year.
Mhm,
Does
mhm.
he make a big splash and actually like cuz after next year, if he doesn't do good, football's over for him. That's got to be a motivation.
Sure.
There's got to be a sidekick. Whether it's MJ Jr. or if it's PJ Ademoye, like PJ maybe. He's got the wingspan.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got like a 7'10" wingspan. I mean, he's a freaking pterodactyl
Yeah.
but we've seen him. We've watched a lot of his plays. He gets kind of wild with his feet, gets kind of wild with his hands. He doesn't know what to do. It takes time. But if I was gonna take somebody, I would take Danny Okoye. I don't like sometimes those long arm guys don't always pan out because they don't know mechanically, they don't know, they get all, weird. I kind of like those they do. Those
No,
6'2",
yeah.
6'4" guys with that have like stubby legs. I like the Melvin I know, but like the Melvin
Yeah, no.
Ingrams, the Khalil Mack is another one. Like they
Yeah.
don't really have big long arms. They're just so explosive with their feet and their hips, and they
Mhm.
can anyway. But I'm watching Danny Okoye there at the edge, and really the biggest question on defense to me, I mean, besides edge, is corner. I mean, corner just looks on
Yep.
both sides like, ah, you
Yeah.
know, you don't. I feel like you gotta keep Kendall Doby there at that nickel. I mean, he
Mhm.
can play corner. He could play anything. You could throw Kendall Doby all over the field. He'll be great.
Yeah.
But I feel like you want him there as your slot, and like, what do you do with those corners on islands? Eli Bowen, is he gonna have a sophomore slump? All these OCs in the offseason are gonna be watching his tape. They're gonna be picking his game. They know he's
Mhm.
gonna at
Mhm.
least be one spot. And Jay Valai can't rely on the transfer portal again. He's gonna have to
Right.
develop one of these guys. You got the Cortland Guillory,
Mhm.
who he
Mhm.
recruited in. Eli Bowen's coming back. Can Gentry be healthy? That corner room looks pretty
Yeah.
iffy, and that edge
Yep.
room. Not worried about
Yep.
the safeties at all. Brandon Hall's
No. Yep.
he's a fantastic coach.
Yep.
Boganowski, RSJ. I mean, they're going to be great at safety. It's corner and edge that are worrying me on this defense that a lot of people are saying, or I heard some people like some blue check X people saying could be elite. I'm like,
Yeah.
slow your roll. It's
Yep.
spring, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Slow your
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're right. I'm more worried about these corners than I am the ends. Like the corners, I don't feel like we have enough bodies as of we stand today. Gentry does need to be healthy.
yeah,
And then behind him, you just have a lot of young freshmen, sophomores coming in there, and you don't want to. We can't find an Eli Bowen every year, so you can't depend on that.
right.
So I'm with you totally. Yeah, safety is a room that I don't even like. I don't even think about. With Bowen, RSJ, and Boganowski, and all those guys back there. I just kind
Yeah,
of. It's sad I
yeah.
overlook them. They're great, so we can't sit here. They're
Well, RSJ is
fantastic.
my
So
yeah,
yeah.
RSJ is my favorite player. Bowen's probably like just right behind him. I love safeties coming in, cleaning up, and like being that interception monster like Billy Bowman was. And I don't even worry because Brandon Hall after BV and Bates, Brandon Hall is right there as one of your best coaches on the staff,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
so I just it's going to be automatic. He's going to have a safety that's going to be a playmaker and another safety that's just going to hit people into the ground
Yeah.
and punish
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed. So I guess the next couple of months we'll kind of see the Jim Nagy effect
yeah,
maybe
we didn't
take
even get
place.
into
So
Nagy.
we
Yeah.
we haven't, and I know we're kind of running out of time here on this pod, but I think we'll definitely maybe see what his hand has, going on with the spring portal, and what he maybe does with this roster a little bit coming out of the spring. because this will be the first time we'll have his eyes on the roster, and some of he's got an eye for NFL talent. There's a little concern from some on how that translates to, high school talent, because he's going to have to kind of, what's the right word there? Not dumb it down, but he's just going to have to lower his expectations a little bit when he's looking at high school guys, as opposed to the guys he's been evaluating in the pros for so long. You're still looking for the same thing. You're just not going to have the polished version of it coming out of high school, right?
Right. So I have one thought. Okay, we'll talk Nagy in another pod, like you said. I just have one thought. When I found his contract, 3 years, $2.5 million, I feel like that is like, he's gonna outperform it. He's gonna absolutely outperform that contract so quickly. I was actually kind of surprised that was. I mean, there are some serious GMs, like, because he was aspiring to get into the NFL, and those NFL GMs make 3 times that in a year. I feel like we got a sick deal with that contract. I was like, $2.5 million for 3 years. God, wow, that's amazing. He's gonna outperform it. Just wait. The players are gonna get paid more, and then these admin that know what they're, that know football, know how to like evaluate, structure, organizationally, all that stuff. He's gonna outperform it. I mean, in his first year, 750,000. Like, in GM world, that is like chump change. Like, and snagging him, he's gonna be. This is a fantastic deal for OU. Fantastic, and to be in the first to go out there and pick and choose who they wanted and snag him, I think he's going to do a fantastic job. I think he's going to outperform his contract. I think we're going to come back probably after this year and already see a lot of things, little things change. He's gonna get himself a new deal. He's gonna get himself a bigger deal. So, and that's all I'll say. I was just surprised that by those numbers. I feel like he's gonna outperform it for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of footprint he puts on the program here in the next. I think we'll see something here in the next 60 days, whether it's letting some guys go to the portal, just the portal turnover. We're going to see what that looks like for the first time with him on campus. So yeah. So I don't have anything else. I think we touched on most of spring sports. We'll have 2 less to talk about from here on out now that basketball's done. So
do you feel good? Do you feel good? Now that you're back after your little vacation? That
my vacation,
your move?
Yeah. It was so relaxing.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Did you get everything out? Is there anything else?
No, I think I'm good right now. Yeah.
I know you're kind of like itching. They're like, I need to talk. I need to talk some.
Yeah.
I need to talk some.
Exactly.
Some Sooner sports.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. But yeah, let's put a wrap on this. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Keep rooting on the rest of spring sports, and we'll be touching base here soon enough. So thanks again, Boomer Sooner. Have a great weekend.
Hey, that is my standard. Champion standard. Yeah. Run my place, ayy. Keep up with the pace, ayy. If you don't got motion, then stay up out of my face, ayy. I be doing a race, ayy. 100 yards out of the way, ayy. It's time to lock in the field, baby. It's game day. 7 rings you can't handle. I'm on a champion man too. Welcome to my standards. Maybe that's something you can't do. Maybe try a different angle. Maybe try a different play too. When you know you're the greatest, some people might hate you. Champ, yeah. nobody safe when it's time for game day. Put up or shut up, you know it's competitive. We will not ever take losses. Yeah, I be playing the game, but at heart, you know I am just really a boss. Youngin' or boomer, don't matter who's on that field, everybody getting sauce. Get down with the team, cause we really one-on-one, yeah. Hey, I'm the man, hey, I'm the man, yeah. Watch how we make fans, while we also make this cash, hey. When it comes to plays, there isn't one we haven't ran, yeah. Competition's getting bodied, that's no capping. Champ, yeah, I'm the champ, yeah, I'm the champ. Champion standard, don't gotta put on a hat. Titles, you know we got that. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Hang my jersey in the rafters, I'm a champ, champion standard. Champ, yeah, I'm the champ. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Don't gotta put on a hat. Titles, you know we got that. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Yeah, I'm the champ, champion standard. Hang my jersey in the rafters, I'm a champ, champion standard. I told you nobody's safe when it's time for game day. I told you nobody's safe when it's time for game day. Champion standard, and we don't play. Champion standard, and we don't play.
We both did a wardrobe change. That's hilarious.
What
Did you hear
is
me?
that?
We both did a wardrobe change.
What's that music?
I don't hear any.
What the fuck was that?
That's funny.
That was really weird.
Huh.
All right, hold on.